Okay, I'm now going to do a stating the bleeding obvious little video blog today. Well, it's stating the bleeding obvious to me, and maybe it isn't to a lot of people. In fact, I know it isn't to a lot of people, so unfortunately I've got to be the one to sit here and tell you basically what is the bleeding obvious and what is not the bleeding obvious. Someone left a comment on my channel page, and the question is, have you ever seen a demon? Let me put it to you like this. If you have a strange experience, all you've done is had a strange experience. That's it. Okay? If I was to, today, see a ghost, would it prove life after death to me personally? No. That's right. Even if I see it, even if I actually see the damned thing. Why? Because we don't know enough. All we have is experience to go by, which is culturally defined in a certain manner, which we can then say is seeing a ghost, because that is a good cultural definition of what the experience might be. Do they exist? We still don't know. Okay, the other things, such as an astral projection experience, makes you think that yes, it is more hypothetically possible that there is some kind of reality outside of the physical, and I've invested a certain quantity of belief but not knowledge into the possibility of there being life beyond the physical. Alright? But that is belief, not knowledge. I can accept that. I'm not going to sit here and make a truth claim to say that demons actually exist. All I can do is tell you the traditions which other people have used to try and get the strange experiences. I can tell you some of the hypotheses that people have deployed to try and explain the experiences. And yes, I can use the same cultural terminology which people use when they're talking about these things, but it's not proof that they exist. Now, I have mentioned this in a previous video, and if you go back long enough through the history of this YouTube channel, you will be able to find a video which contains the information. But just for you today, I am going to reiterate it. I did an experimental ceremony a long time ago, and it freaked me out because the apparent results of it were scary. I based my ceremony on things that I had learned from Wicca, as well as certain books upon ceremonial magic. I had pre-trained myself for an extended period of time with forms of meditation. And I proposed to summon a spirit called Florus, which is one of the 72 spirits in the Lesser Key of Solomon. I followed the traditions as well as I could with my limited ceremonial tools, most of which were more of a Wiccan orientation than they were of a ceremonial magic orientation, because you can't actually get the proper ceremonial magic tools. So basically I thought, what the fuck? And I stuck to the original plan of the ceremony rather than necessarily worrying about whether I had something made of iron in the circle and all the rest of that kind of stuff. The ceremony went according to plan. There were a few strange sensations when I was doing the ritual, such as the feeling of the circle being cast, which most people sort of start to get an understanding of. Then, after I had done this invocation of the spirit, nothing appeared to happen, so I closed the circle down in the traditional manner, and I proceeded to go about my day, making myself something to eat and getting on with everything else I had to do. However, for a period of 2 weeks after that particular experiment, every single time I walked past the same place in my room where I did the spirit invocation, I would feel a ball of heat about that big. It would appear to be static, not moving, and I could feel it as I walked through it. And it was quite an intense sensation. So it appeared that something had appeared, and it did scare me. You can see these things as blobs of light. They feel like blobs of light when you're calling them forward. And in that respect, I would have to say, yes, I have seen a demon. But whether it existed or not, whether it was bioplasmic energy, whether it was hallucination, we can't say. It was, however, a very strange experience, which did make me think.